Hello there. I have a simple little second channel video today because I want to look at this. A VTech Typewriter pre-computer typing tutor. This came out in, I believe, 1984 or 1985 there, and is an electronic typing tutor device intended for use before using a computer. Who needs Mavis Beacon when you can have VTech? So today we're going to pull this thing out and take a look at it. Before we do that, let me tell you about other pre-computer typing tutors. I don't know what you were thinking of. So this is a McGraw-Hill book company record set. So these are 45 RPM records, all right? Just simple records. And these are meant for you to learn a typing rhythm so that you can get your word per minute up. And the idea is that you listen to specific songs on here, and they have a words per minute for each song, and then you can slowly ramp up your typing speed as you go along with the music. So it's kind of a weird thing. I imagine that there's a book or something that goes with this that I don't have, and that this is box 2 of I don't know how many. I found this at a thrift store and I just had to have it because, I mean, typewriting rhythm records, that's really weird. But yeah, that's how you would do typewriter tutoring kind of stuff before even this kind of pre-computer device. So just fun little note there. All right. Let's get the VTech out, though, because that's the main focus for today. Now, I have actually been into this, and I know some of what we have coming up, and I protected the plastic from the styrofoam. So we have a book here, which is going to teach us, and there's some cool things about that. Then we have the typewriter itself, but also, I think it's over here on the side, similar to the records, we have a cassette. And I'm not exactly sure what's on there. So we're going to listen to that today if we can. But here is the typewriter itself. And this one is in really, really good shape. I thought I had batteries in here, so that's going to be fun to find. Apparently it was smart and took them out. This takes a bunch, 4 Type-C batteries. So let me see if I can go track some of those down so we can try this thing out. All right, I've got my hands on some C batteries here. Before we continue, let's go ahead and see if this thing even works. That way I know how much trouble I'm in for here. So let's just load this up. And we have the display there. Certain on-off switch, not that I'm seeing on. Okay. Class, game 1, 2, I don't know, 1. Okay, it looks like it's working here, so I think we'll be able to continue. So we'll take a look at this in a moment. I wonder what that key is for. For now, though, I want to listen to the cassette. All right, here I have a realistic cassette player, and let's pop this in and see what is on here.
Congratulations! You have made an even better buy than you could possibly imagine. Your new Typewriter is an interactive unit with the capability to assess your typing speed and accuracy and communicate these figures to you after each lesson via the LCD screen. This Typewriter product has been specially developed as the...
All right, I'm currently rewinding this back to the start. That was the worst utilized cassette I've ever seen in my entire life. For one, though, it's ridiculously long. My recording for the whole thing is 40 minutes long. I don't think the actual cassette audio is that long, but it's probably at least 30 minutes because I had some troubleshooting to go through because there's like a minute or two of blank lead-in on side A here. Like if I just start playing this again, it's not actually making any sound right now, and it's going to take a while to get to sound. I had to fast forward while having the tape on the head so that I could hear it start to chipmunk its way into something actually listenable. But then you'll get to side B. Side B starts in the middle of a lesson, so they didn't end on one lesson, then start on the other.
Then, type the words exactly as printed on page 39 of your user manual. Your guided tour continues on side B. Turn over the tape. I'll wait.
But then side B is like only 30% used. The rest of it is totally blank. So this cassette is kind of awful. But then it gets even weirder. Most of it is just reiterating everything that's in the manual. So there's nothing unique to this. So it's not like you can use that like those typing records. It's not, you know, a BPM or anything like that that you're trying to match. But one thing in particular I found interesting was this section that it goes over about numbering your fingers so that you can do this. And I was actually going to grab a Sharpie and number my fingers sarcastically to go along with this, but then it said literally to do that on the tape, which I thought was funny. But it gets dumber because they said, oh, we're going to refer to your fingers by these numbers from now on.
Numbering your fingers for further reference. We'll start with your pinky on your left hand. That will be number 1. 2, 3, and 4 will be the other fingers on your left hand, counted left to right.
And then never mentions the numbers again.
To type properly, each finger of both hands is responsible for certain letters and keys. Take a look at the left-hand side of the keyboard. All the keys over there are dark. These keys are all operated by the little finger on your left hand. Next to this dark clump of keys, there are 4 lighter-colored keys. This group of keys will be used by the next finger, your third finger, on your left hand.
This is really not a well put together cassette. One thing I did get out of this, though, is that you could apparently do so good on this thing that if you beat the highest level at, I think it was 45 words per minute and like 90% accuracy, it would print a code here. And then you could mail this off and they would send you a certificate. Oh, there we go. 5% or 45 word per minute and only 5 errors or less. Yeah. So there is like a secret code thing that you could get. Like Atari did this in their games where you could get the little patch sent, but that's just funny. You get the typing certificate for the VTech Typewriter. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I thought I was going to put the entire cassette in this video, but it's like way too long. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to put that up somewhere, but I will try to do that. But you're really not missing much. It's not very good. There were a couple of other things that I wanted to mention about this, though. Now, I've never taken any like official typing lessons, so I'm not sure what would truly be best practice. And I know I do some things that are terrible. So for one, I want to mention there are no finger nubs on this for determining where home row is blindly. They just expect you to put your hands there and know. Second, they recommend that you pick one of your 2 thumbs to use to always press the spacebar and to only use that thumb. All right, I'm a monster. I use my index finger because I used laptops too much, but they want you to always do that. Now that mostly all makes sense, but this one kind of like stuck out to me. Let's say you want to type capital R. They want you to always use your left pinky to hit shift and then your right index finger to hit R. You are never allowed to use your left pinky and your right index finger at the same time. It is always one or the other. Now, I'm going to guess this is some kind of classic old school typing rule, but I had never heard that before. Again, though, I've never taken any official typing courses. That was just something that seemed odd that you're only allowed to do this with opposing hands. They were very clear about that. Opposing hands for modifier keys. Definitely not something that we would do now with the Control C, Control V being so ubiquitous. You'd never hold the right control to do that. That would just be insane. So I bet that's something that has completely died out. But yeah, it's kind of funny hearing what all weird things like that it has in there. Now, as far as the actual device itself, summarizing a couple of things here, you can probably pick up on the fact that you're supposed to use specific fingers along these specific groups. And I didn't, again, I've never taken a proper typing tutor class, but I wouldn't have thought that you would both like go up to the left. I don't know. I feel like this is somewhat arbitrary. You should just kind of type with what's comfortable. Like having your pinky do all of this on the right, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, but you're supposed to use specific fingers for these groups. And then they also have these labeled up here. Again, not using the numbers, because why would they use the numbers that they said they would use? Now, there's one other thing I'll point out here. The keys are slightly different than what we have now. So 6 doesn't have caret. It has the minus symbol. And then we have the equals plus key over here instead of right there. And then there's no normal backspace. It said something about being able to go through and correct your errors on the display if you make them. And I'm guessing you can use this to just overwrite a character. On a typewriter, you would have had to strike that out with a whiteout tape or some other method of correcting. I actually have a whole video series on typewriter correcting methods if you want to know about that. But you wouldn't be able to just go back and overtype. You would go back and, strike it out with capital X or something. So anyway, that's how you do error correction on this, which supposedly it does not mark you for as an error if you can catch it before it goes off of the buffer, which is kind of cool. I don't think it explained anywhere, though, what that key is. So that's kind of funny. Well, since I now know the cassette was basically just an audiobook version of the manual, I know what all is coming up in this, and I know what we should realistically check out on here. I thought we were just going to go through the book little by little, but I have a feeling there is too much here for us to try all at once, even if I can type well enough for it, which I don't know. It might get a little picky at the end. So the book is basically going to tell us, how the machine works and all that fun stuff, how to set it up. Doesn't tell us what that mystery key is, again, which is funny. But it does spend a lot of time talking about the return key, also being called enter or carriage return on computers. But yeah, so there's all that stuff, but then the book is going to switch into the actual lessons. But there is also game, but we're going to check that out at the end. But here, let's start with lesson 1. So lesson 1 is about the home row, and we're just going to practice typing the home row keys only. So the manual is set up in this weird book with really firm covers so that you can set it down like that. Mostly for the later chapters where you have to type along with the text looking at the pages rather than the display on here. I will say, I'm going to turn this on again. I do wish you could adjust the contrast on this because you can't easily see it, but they do want this to be ridiculously close to you. The manual says that the distance from your body to this thing should be one open hand, and that you need to have your hands in there, like, as close as possible, with your elbows tucked in. They have like the most ridiculous, stringent typing posture that I have ever heard of. So yeah, that would be ridiculous. Even typing normally, I wouldn't be that close. I'm going to be farther away just so that the camera can actually see what's going on. But yeah, that's going to be a little tough here. But let's go ahead and go through lesson 1, which we access by typing class 1, and that'll bring up lesson 1 here. And then this one is pretty easy, but let me get you a closer shot on this so we can go through that. All right, let me go through the lesson selection process one more time there. The little beeping sound is hilarious. So we're going to pick class, and then we're going to select 1, and that'll be lesson 1. Now, if we were doing a higher lesson, it will also ask us what level we're doing. But since we're just doing lesson 1, there is only one level. So we're going to pick 1 for lesson 1. Now, lesson 1 is just about learning the home row here. So we're going to put our fingers on the home row, and it's going to bring up keys from the home row that we just press here to help memorize which keys are where. All right, so here my accuracy was 30%. That was pretty miserable. I'm going to go ahead and try that one more time while not looking at my camera monitor and see if I can do a little bit better. There we go, 61. As far as the book is concerned, that is a passing score, because as they mentioned multiple times, you need to score at least 60 to be able to move on.
Before moving on, you should have attained a score of 60.
Now, I noticed while doing that, I think it is randomly selecting the same key that it just showed, which makes it seem like you mistyped, but it's not beeping saying that you made an error, which is really weird. They should have set it up to not pick the same key that it just gave you, because that just felt weird. All right, now all of the next lessons are about picking different rows for you to do this with. But again, the idea is that you stay on a home row and then you move your fingers up to the other rows. This is one of those areas where when I did take typing classes when I was a kid, I was really bad because I would just move my hands up as if that was the new home row, because why work harder when you can work smarter? So I'm going to pick lesson 5 for our next lesson, which is about bringing the shift key in here and bringing all keys into play at once. Yeah, this is the weird rule this thing puts on shift. Never try to capitalize a letter using the same hand. Again, they don't want you to hold shift and then press another key with one hand, which just does not make sense. I don't know why you would have that rule. But I'm sure there were some overly strict typing instructors or something around this time that would have tried to enforce something like that. So let's go ahead and try lesson 4 now, which is going to be random letters like that from the full keyboard with shift involved, which is going to mean the weird layout quirks here are going to bite me because I'm not going to know them. All right, so I'm going to pick lesson 5 and we'll give this a shot. And yeah, I'm not going to type how it wants. I'm just going to type what feels natural to me. Oh, I want to try this. If I use the same shift, it does an error, so it doesn't actually care. Ah, 33. That's pretty poor. Okay, I'm going to try that one more time, not looking at my monitor. Ah, so close. Oh my gosh, again. All right, I'm calling that good enough. There are definitely a couple of times there where I'm pretty sure it missed a key press, definitely the shift key on one of them. I am hitting their 60 mark. But if the keyboard was working perfectly, then it would work. And yes, I'm blaming the machine to hate the game, not the player. All right, we're going to go ahead and take this up to the highest possible level now. All right, lesson 9. So I think we just have to type out the entire thing here. That's what this is. So, oh my gosh, they have you type basic? That's crazy. All right, so we're going to type out, oh, that is a lot. I really don't want to type all that out. Oh gosh. Really? That's so long. They want you to only make 5 mistakes on this. Are you kidding me? No, we ain't doing that. Yeah, okay, as fun as that would be. I don't really feel like doing that just to get a really poor grade because I'm doing this on camera and I'm gonna do bad. We'll try at least one from lesson 8 because these are a lot shorter and a lot more reasonable. It's the same premise. So you look at this and type that in as you go along. And it is going to measure the speed. Technically, I can press speed here, I think, or is it accuracy? No, these don't work on this. So I'm going to look at the paper as I'm typing here, and that's going to be what I'm seeing. So let's see how this goes. Class 8, level 1. You can see it missed shift already, but I can go back and do that. Okay, so it does require you to press enter on this, I think. Can anyone else see congratulations like that and not think of the Super Smash Bros. Melee? Because I can't. It knows I made a mistake, but it won't let me go back. It said you can go back as long as you can see the thing. Oh well. Okay, yeah. Keys are definitely missing a lot. Oh my gosh, this is a graphic description of typing. Oh my gosh, that was awful. So definitely take the 19 words per minute with a grain of salt there, as I failed to type many things just due to the keyboard. It's not like this is a rebuke on my typing abilities. I suck at typing. I have an abomination of a typing style, and I will freely admit that. I love seeing people comment on how disgusted they are that I use an index finger for the space bar. It brings me such joy. But that is going to be how the typewriter works. There is one more thing that I want to show you, and that is game. Now, game is, as far as I'm aware, the exact same thing as lesson 5. You just type letters as they appear. Oh, I see. They feed in from the side. Okay, so it's probably going to get faster and ramp up the speed as it goes along. You have to forgive me, the section of the manual. Oh, there, definitely put 2 in a row. Okay, oh, it's still going. I'm done now, though. I've had my fill. It is taking its time to ramp up the speed here. They really want you to be at this all day. You know what? Just fail out. No, really? It's honestly a lot harder just not being able to see and like cue up my motions for how I want to type. Like if I just wait a second here and let it build some up. Okay, now T D U W C H Z H Z D Z W. I mean, it's actually harder just starting and stopping the reading all at once. Yeah, this is just going to go forever, it seems like. All right. Well, that was the VTech Typewriter pre-computer typing tutor here. As far as what I think about this cassette is awful. This should not have been included. This actually brought my experience with this down considerably. No, that is terrible. I kind of like the book. I feel like that was well thought out. This thing probably would have been better when it was new, assuming that the keys would have been a little bit more responsive. It might just be that it's old and that there's some amount of oxidation on them. I don't know. They're not like nice or good switches. Like, I don't know if I can pop up with a keep. Oh my gosh. These, there's no way they're not cherry compatible, are they? Well, that one doesn't quite fit. I don't think. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know why it won't go the other direction, but that's hilarious. I'm guessing this is just smaller. So you can't use these keys on something else, but you could put better caps on that. That doesn't matter. It's the switches themselves that are probably rubber dome or membrane or something that are not good. Stabilizer. Wow, so there's just 2 switches. That's 0 stabilization. Who needs stabilization when you just have 2 switches for space? I mean, why don't we do that with modern keyboards? Psst, problem solved. But yeah, switches not responding too well. Kind of hurts this thing. Other than that, I think I like it. I could have definitely seen this helping you learn to type. I haven't looked up what it was when it was new. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Well, I couldn't find the price, but hopefully it didn't cost too much money. Definitely a cool little thing. Hopefully it worked better when it was new, but fun to check out for now. If this whole thing's actual content came out to less than half an hour, I'm going to stick it at the end of this video so you can enjoy how boring and terrible it is too.
Congratulations! You have made an even better buy than you could possibly imagine. Your new Typewriter is an interactive unit with the capability to assess your typing speed and accuracy and communicate these figures to you after each lesson via the LCD screen. This Typewriter product has been specially developed as the result of massive research in the experiences of people who try to learn to type. Studies show conclusively that people who try to learn typing with a computer or typewriter on their own are almost sure to fail. With these methods, they are not interested in learning typing as an end, but as a means to some other end, such as computer programming or writing reports. With this product, however, since teaching you how to type is the only function it has, there is no temptation to skip ahead and carry out other goals. The only thing you can do is learn how to type, and as a result, you do. Just start going through the lessons and see for yourself. How to put in the batteries. The Typewriter uses 4 C-size batteries. To install the batteries, or change them, follow these simple steps. Locate the battery case cover on the bottom of the Typewriter unit. Remove the cover. Insert 4 C-size batteries as illustrated. Replace the battery case cover. press the on-off key to begin working with the Typewrite. For more detail, please refer to the diagram printed on page 4 of your user manual. If your Typewrite is turned on but not used for about 10 minutes, it will automatically shut off to preserve your battery power. This is very convenient for your batteries, but remember, when it does this, all memory will be wiped out and you'll have to start again from the beginning. So don't expect the second half of your lesson to be waiting for you when you turn the Typewrite on again. Now we come to the important parts. Refer to your user's manual from page 5 to page 13. The following sections discuss in detail the usage of the major switches and input devices of the Typewrite unit. Make sure you learn what all these things do before you attempt to use them. The keys. Your Typewrite unit has 47 keys of all shapes and sizes. 42 of your 47 keys will work in 2 separate ways. Every key has a big white letter, number, or word printed on top of it. If you just press any key without touching anything else, the key will follow the orders of the big white writing. For example, if you press the key marked 1, a number 1 will appear on the screen. If you press the key marked A small a will appear on your screen. On 16 of your keys, all the number keys plus 6 others, there's a small symbol printed on the top of the key along with the big white symbol. To make this small symbol appear on your screen, you must press one of the shift keys at the same time as you press any key with a small symbol. Then the small symbol will appear on your screen. For example, if you press the shift key and the 1 key at the same time, an exclamation mark will appear on your screen. If you press the shift key and any letter key from A to Z, a capital letter will appear on your screen. For example, if you press the shift key and the A key at the same time, your screen will show a capital letter A. The shift keys are easy to find. They're so important that there are 2 of them, one on each side at the ends of the bottom row of keys. To make things even easier for you, they say shift on them. When you press the lock key, you lock the keyboard into producing all capital letters. Once the key is engaged, all your typing will appear in capital letters until you press the shift key, at which time it will return you to normal letters. The return key. This key is located on the right-hand side of the second row of keys on your Typewrite unit. It has the word return printed on the top of it. The return key is used to tell the computer that you have finished typing a line and want to start a new line. If you don't push the return key when you want to end a line, the computer will mash it all together with the next line, and you will likely have to type both lines all over again. Return actually stands for carriage return, and is a phrase that has been adopted from old typewriter technology. Occasionally, when reading basic program books, you will see the symbol CR. In others who want to get away from association with typewriters, you will see the command enter. Don't let either of these worry you. They both simply mean return. The space key. This is the big long key at the bottom of your keyboard. What it does is create an empty space between words when you're typing. Otherwise, you'd end up with one big word, which even you would have trouble reading. The space key will put an empty space on the screen whether you just press it or whether you press it at the same time you're pressing the shift key. The cursor control keys. These 2 keys have arrows on them. One points left, one points right. They let you move the cursor one way or another on the screen. The cursor is a little blip that indicates where the next letter you type will appear. On the Typewrite unit, because the screen is only an electronic window, these arrow keys let you scroll back and forth on each line of type visible within the screen in order to let you make corrections while practicing Lesson 8 and Lesson 9. Since the computer will check your mistakes after each word you've typed, you cannot move the cursor backwards after you've pressed the space key. Also, when the word is longer than 8 characters, there's no way to move the cursor back after you've typed the 9th character. The function keys. Your Typewrite unit has 5 function keys, As the name implies, they allow you to use the built-in features of the unit. For exact details on these function keys, refer to the upcoming sections. The on-off key. When your Typewriter unit is ready to go, you must always press the on-off key before beginning any work. After you've pressed this key and the unit is on, you can continue by pressing any of the following function keys. By the same token, when you've finished working, always remember to press the on-off switch again to turn the unit off. The class key. This key allows you to choose which class you want to be in. You have a choice of 9 classes. Class number 1 is the most basic. Number 9 is the most difficult. Press the class key and the desired number key directly afterwards. For example, if you'd like to learn the lessons given in Class 5, press the class key and then the 5 key. Lessons 6 to 9 have 4 levels to select. For example, Lesson 7, Level 3. Press Class, then press 7, then press 3. The game key. Built into your Typewriter unit is a learning game which is not only fun to play, but actually helps you to learn some aspects of typing in a fun way. It generates letters from A to Z, and they travel across the screen. You must hit the corresponding letter on your keyboard before the traveling letter disappears. If you miss 3 times, you lose. Once the unit is turned on, simply press the game key. Then choose Level 1 or Level 2 by pressing the 1 or the 2 number key. Then, put your fingers on the home row and play. The speed key. This function calculates your typing speed and displays the figure on the LCD screen. After you've finished working at one of the classes, your speed will indicate automatically. You can check back your speed anytime by pressing the speed key before you move to another level or start another practice. The speed key only works in classes 6 to 9. In classes 1 to 5, your typing speed figure will be displayed automatically when you have completed the lesson. The accuracy key. This function determines how accurate you have been in typing out the lesson. It gives your accuracy as a percentage. This percentage figure shows what percent of the lesson you typed correctly. Press the accuracy key when you finish your work on lessons 6 to 9. Your accuracy percentage will appear in the LCD screen. The higher the number, the more accurately you typed. As you practice, strive to keep this accuracy number as high as possible. Numbering your fingers for further reference. To make it easy, let's number your fingers. We'll start with your pinky on your left hand. That will be number 1. 2, 3, and 4 will be the other fingers on your left hand, counted left to right. Number 5 will be the index finger on your right hand. Thumbs are not numbered. 6, 7, and 8 will be the other fingers on your right hand, again counting from left to right. These are your finger numbers. Look at the diagram in page 14 of your user's manual and memorize them. From now on, that's what we'll call your fingers. If you're really nervous about remembering, just write down the numbers on top of the correct fingers. Thumbs. Where to place them? Even though your thumbs are not assigned numbers, they do have an important job to do. They rest above the big long key at the bottom of your keyboard. It's the biggest key of all. It is called the space key. When you hit it with your thumb, it causes a space between letters. This makes it possible to create words by leaving a space after the letters forming a word. Whenever you need a blank space to separate a word, just hit the space key with your thumb. Use one thumb only. Decide which of your thumbs you will use and only use that thumb for spacing. Usually, if you're right-handed, you will use your right thumb to always hit the space key. If you're left-handed, you will probably prefer to use your left thumb. Regardless of which thumb you use, tuck the thumb you're not using either under the other fingers of that hand or keep it close to the forefinger. Remember to always use the same thumb for hitting the space key. The lessons. To type properly, Each finger of both hands is responsible for certain letters and keys. To help you out, we have made the keys in 2 colors. This should make it a little easier to see which finger is responsible for which key. Take a look at the left-hand side of the keyboard. All the keys over there are dark. These keys are all operated by the little finger on your left hand. Next to this dark clump of keys, there are 4 lighter colored keys, specifically the 2, W, S, and X. This group of keys will be used by the next finger, your third finger, on your left hand, and so on. The keys for which each finger is responsible are a different color. Therefore, they're easy to use. To make things even easier and for fast reference, the finger responsible for any particular group of keys is written at the top of the keyboard. Getting ready to type. Typewrite machine position. Your typewrite machine should be placed in the center of the desk or table. The machine should be even with the front edge of the desk or table. When sitting on the chair and facing the machine, the bottom of the machine should be about level with the middle of your stomach. Make sure your machine is neither too high nor too low. Posture. Your body should be approximately an open hand's length from the machine and centered between the G and H keys. Your back straight, shoulders level, and, leaning a little forward, your feet on the floor with one foot slightly ahead of the other, your fingers curved as if you were going to scratch something, allowing only the tips to lightly touch the keys. Your palms should be up and not touching the frame of the machine, and your arms should be relaxed at your sides. Your head should be erect and looking at the side of your machine where your book is located. See the diagram printed on page 17 of your user manual. Stroking the keys. Remembering to use good posture, to activate the space bar, merely use the extended thumb you selected, right or left only, and lightly tap the space bar. Try not to move the fingers that are resting on the keys. To type the keys, keep your fingers curved, and using the tip of a finger only one at a time, lightly tap a key. Touch the key as if it were red hot instead of leaning hard on the key. Try not to move other fingers. Type each space and letter with a light, sharp, quick stroke. Try to keep excess motion to a minimum. Use the little finger on the right hand to hit the return key, and again, try not to move the other fingers when hitting the return key. How to select the lessons and levels you want. Just follow these simple steps to get to the particular lessons and levels that you want to practice without losing any valuable time in fiddling around with the machine. Step 1. Turn Typewrite on. Step 2. Press the Class button. Step 3. Choose the lesson number by pressing numbers 1 to 9. Step 4. Those lessons which have levels will further prompt you to pick levels 1 through 4, which you do by pressing the appropriate number key. That's it. Now you can choose any lesson, any level, and begin practicing your typing. What the game is and how to play. It is an exciting self-test that can be played in 2 levels of skill. In the first level, randomly generated letters from A to Z appear at one side of the screen and travel to the other side. You must hit that letter on your keyboard before the character disappears, or you lose 1 chance. If you miss 3 times, the game is over and you have lost. The score is recorded and accumulates. Level 2 is the same game, but the characters travel much faster. Scoring. Whenever you strike a key correctly, you gain 1 point. When you make a mistake, you lose 1. If you survive after half a minute, you will have an extra bonus of 100 points, plus the points you gained from before. The game will then automatically advance to a higher level. How to select the game. Turn the typewrite on. Press the Game button. Press either the 1 or 2 key, and have fun. Lesson number 1. The home row. Theory. Home is where you go when you have nothing else to do, when the movie is over or the fun is finished. Then you go home. You rest there and get ready to do the next exciting thing. It's the very same in typing. As soon as you finish doing something, you go home. Home is where your fingers rest when they are not typing anything. Put your fingertips lightly on the keys so your finger numbers correspond to the following letters. Finger number 1, A, number 2, S, number 3, D, number 4, F, number 5, J, number 6, K, number 7, L, and number 8, semicolon. Refer to the diagram on page 21. The thumb which you plan to use for spacing should be placed above the middle of the long space key but should not touch it when in the home position. This is because the hands must be slightly raised to allow for upper and lower keyboard stroking. The thumb that is not being used should be tucked under the other fingers of that hand or kept close to the forefinger and out of the way. That's home. Please take the home row position right now. The home row, practice. When you are typing, you shouldn't be looking at the keys. Look at what you are typing. For this lesson, what you are typing will appear on the screen. The screen has 8 places to put letters, just as you have 8 fingers. So to help you out, each letter that appears will be in the position that corresponds to the finger number responsible for that letter. For example, the letter A is controlled by finger number 1. The letter A will appear in the number 1 position on the screen. The letter K, on the other hand, is one of the responsibilities of finger number 6. K will appear in the 6th position on the screen. What to do? Turn on the typewriter. Choose Lesson 1 by pressing the class key and then pressing the 1 key. Put your hands in the correct home row position. Look at the screen, not your hands. Now you are ready. Soon the computer will begin to generate random letters from the home row. These will appear on the screen at the correct finger position. When they appear, you must type them. That's all there is to it. Don't be surprised to encounter more than 8 letters. As you can see by the color coding, some of your fingers are responsible for more than 1 letter, even on the home row. Before moving on, you should have attained a score of 60. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson number 2, the third row, theory. Now, having discovered that your fingers just can't sit still on the home row but have to sneak off sideways every once in a while, here's another surprise for you. Your fingers also have to go up and down quite often. This lesson makes your fingers go up to the 3rd row of letters on your keyboard. This row starts with the letters Q, W, E, R, T, Y. The color coding tells you which fingers are responsible for which keys up there. After you hit the keys on this upper row, your fingers should automatically return to the home row. This way they can be ready to dash off the next letter. You are now ready to move on to the practice section of this lesson. The 3rd row, practice. To begin practicing this lesson, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the number 2 key. How it works. Like Lesson 1, this lesson generates random letters and displays them in their proper place on the screen. What you have to do is type the letters which appear. Before moving on, you should have attained a score of 60. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 3, the 1st row, theory. In addition to moving sideways and up, your fingers also have to move down. In case you hadn't noticed, there's a whole row down there which must be typed at one time or another. Move on to the practice section. The 1st row, practice. To begin practicing this lesson, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. And 3, press the number 3 key. How it works. Similar to previous lessons, this lesson generates random letters and displays them in their proper place on the screen. What you have to do is type the letters which appear. So, put your hands on the home row and get ready. Now, go. Before moving on, you should have attained a score of 60. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 4, the fourth row, theory. At this time, you should have mastered all the letters. Assuming you have mastered the letters, the next challenge is to master the numbers on the top row. Go to the practice section. The fourth row, practice. To begin practicing this lesson, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the number 4 key. How it works. Like previous lessons, this lesson generates random letters and numbers and displays them in their proper place on the screen. What you have to do is type the letters and numbers that appear. Before moving on, you should have attained a score of 60. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 5, Shift Key and All Rows, Theory. It's now time to master the shift keys. They create a whole new row at the top and make just about every key on the board do something different. So it's not just a new row this time, it's a whole new keyboard. Move on to the practice section. Shift key and all rows, practice. To begin practicing this lesson, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the number 5 key. How it works. Similar to previous lessons, this lesson generates random letters and numbers and displays them in their proper place on the screen. You must type the letters and numbers which appear. This will be a little harder than before because there are now letters from the third row, from the home row, and from the first row, as well as numbers from the top row and a whole new keyboard created by the shift key. The use and function of the shift keys. The shift keys are located on the left and right sides of the bottom row of keys. Their function is to permit you to capitalize letters and use the second symbols which are written on the other keys. It's fairly easy to use the shift keys, but you must keep in mind that unlike most of the other keys, the shift key must be held down at the same time as the key you wish to type. Use the left shift key to capitalize letters typed with the right hand. Use the right shift key to capitalize letters typed with the left hand. Never try to capitalize a letter using the same hand. The little fingers of the hands operate the shift keys. As you use these fingers, try to keep the other fingers as close to the home row keys as possible. You may have to curl some of the other fingers to help make a smooth shift. Using the shift key is a 3-step process. Number 1, using the little finger, press and hold down the shift key. Number 2, while the shift key is still held down, strike the letter that is to be capitalized with the other hand. Number 3, release the shift key and return all fingers to the home row position. You can practice the above 3-step process with the typewriter machine in the off position. Before moving on to the next lesson, be sure you have thoroughly mastered Lesson 5. You should attain a score of 60. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Take a well-deserved break. You have completed more than half of your typewriter lessons. I'll wait here. Information you must know before continuing your lessons. From now on, the practice lessons will appear in the user's manual instead of on the screen. Lessons 6 through 9 require you to type things that are in the user manual. You have to use the return key quite often in order to enter what you type into the computer. Only then can it tell whether you are doing well or not. You will see, in the following lessons, when you reach the end of a line, you have to hit the return key. You can correct mistakes if you notice them in time. The correction has to still be showing on the screen. You cannot move off the screen to bring back anything that is already gone. Also, you have to make the correction before you press the return key. After you've pressed return, the typing is entered into the computer and cannot be corrected. But if you see a mistake on the screen, use the cursor keys to position the cursor over the mistake and simply type over it. Lesson 6, Theory. You will now be looking at material in the user's manual and trying to reproduce it perfectly with your keyboard. Try to look at the book you're typing from rather than at the screen. Remember to return your fingers to their home row position after typing every letter. This lesson will concentrate on simple words rather than just random letters because it is easier to do and is the way you will be typing in real situations. There are 4 levels in Lesson 6. Discover what they are. Begin the practice section. Lesson 6, Practice. Type in the practice words shown in your user manual. When you reach the end of a line, press the return key on your keyboard. Remember that time is important in making up your score, too. Level 1. This level lets you keep your fingers on the home row during the whole exercise. Here's what to do. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the number 6 key. Number 4, press the number 1 key for level 1. Then, type the words exactly as they appear on page 37 of your user manual. Go ahead. I'll be right here. Before you move to the next level, you should be able to type this one thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your keystrokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 30 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 80%. Level 2. This level makes you use both the home row and the third row. You have to move your fingers quite a bit, not only side to side, but up, too. Remember to return to the home row every time. Let's see if you can do it. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the number 6 key. And number 4, press the number 2 key for level 2. Then, type the words exactly as printed on page 39 of your user manual. Your guided tour continues on side B. Turn over the tape. I'll wait. Before you move to the next level, you should be able to type this one thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your keystrokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 30 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 80%. Level 3. This level makes you use both the home row, the third row, and the first row at the bottom. You'll have to move your fingers up and down and sideways to use all the letters. To practice this level, number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the 6 key. And number 4, press the 3 key for level 3. Then, type the words exactly as printed on page 41 of your user manual. Before you move on to the next level, you should be able to type this one thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your keystrokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 30 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 80%. Level 4. In this level, you have to use all the keys plus the shift key and the number keys. You have to get everything going for you. It's not going to be easy. You may give up at this point and never type again. But if you can just make it through level 4 here, you can do anything. Give it a whirl. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the 6 key. Number 4, press the 4 key for level 4. Then, type the words exactly as printed on page 43 of your user manual. Before you move to the next level, you should be able to type this one thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your keystrokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 30 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 80%. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 7, Theory. From this lesson onward, speed is what we aim for. The computer will not behave like it did before. It will not stop and wait for you. You have to go as fast as possible. But the computer will also record your mistakes and let you know at the end of the lesson. This entire lesson is in sentences which use progressively more and more keys in each level. To get started, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the 7 key. Number 4, press the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key for 4 different levels. Before you move to the next level, you should be able to type this one thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your keystrokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 35 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 85%. Lesson 7, Practice. Type the sentences exactly as they're printed on page 45, 46, and 47 of your user manual. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 8, Theory. This lesson is all in short paragraphs. Each has about 100 words and is specially written to use progressively more and more keys in each level. To get started, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the 8 key. Number 4, press the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key for 4 different levels. Before you move to the next lesson, you should be able to type all levels thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then, press the accuracy key to see how many of your strokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 40 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 90%. Lesson 8, Practice. Type the paragraphs exactly as they appear on page 49 and 50 of your user manual. Turn off your tape recorder now and do the lesson. Turn me back on when you're ready to move to the next lesson. Lesson 9, Theory. This lesson is all in long paragraphs. Level 1 is 200 words. Level 2 is 300. Level 3 is 400. And Level 4 is again about 400 words. To get started, follow these steps. Number 1, turn on the unit. Number 2, press the class key. Number 3, press the 9 key. Number 4, press the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key for 4 different levels. Before you move to the next lesson, you should be able to type all levels thoroughly. After completing the exercise each time, the speed will be indicated automatically by a word per minute count. Then press the accuracy key to see how many of your strokes were wrong. Before moving on, you should have attained a speed of 45 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 95%. Lesson 9, Practice. Type the paragraphs exactly as printed on page 52, 53, 54, and 55 of your user manual. One more time. Now that you've gotten through the entire course, go back and type all the practice sections again with a speed of at least 45 words per minute and an accuracy reading of not less than 95%. Have you finished doing all the practice exercises again? Did you do them all at 45 words per minute with an accuracy reading of at least 95%? If you achieve this speed and accuracy with Lesson 9, Level 4, a secret code will appear on the screen. Write this code down quickly before it disappears. Write the secret code onto a reply card and mail it. We will send you a typing certificate. You are now a certified typing expert. So, expert, type this out 100 times. I am incredible.